Welcome viewers, Dr. J.W. Ayub. Australia is irretrievable. When belonging started feeling temporary, the first sign wasn't an argument, it wasn't a protest, it wasn't even a headline. It was a sentence that began appearing in ordinary conversations. This doesn't feel like the Australia I grew up in. It just doesn't feel like Australia anymore. Nobody could explain exactly when the feeling began. People still lived in the same suburbs, they still drove the same roads. The local shopping centre was still there besides more empty shop fronts. The parks were still full on weekends. Yet something familiar had become strangely difficult to recognise in Australia. Neighbourhoods moved more often. Neighbours moved out of those neighbourhoods. Long-standing businesses quietly disappeared. Schools changed faster than families expected. Entire suburbs seemed to develop new identities within a single generation. And for many Australians, the challenge wasn't change itself. Australia had always changed. The challenge was no longer knowing whether they belonged within the pace of that change. People stopped feeling connected to places they had lived for decades. Community organisations struggled to replace ageing volunteers, and conversations with strangers became shorter. Familiar faces became increasingly rare, and without anyone announcing it, permanence began giving way to transition. The emotional cost was subtle. Home is more than a postcode. It is the confidence that the place around you still recognises you just as you recognise it. And when that confidence begins to disappear, viewers, people do not immediately leave, they stay. But they begin feeling like visitors in the place where they once felt rooted. Perhaps that's one of the hardest losses to measure. Not when people physically lose their home, but when they quietly lose the feeling that home still exists around them. And that's why Australia is irretrievable.